Hey everyone, Tom here again, obviously. Look at the little halo effect, very, very religious art. I wanted to do a little video that I think I teased in previous video, but I wanted to run through the three scenes in films that I cannot watch with my eyes open. So these are three scenes from not horror films, I think, surprisingly, for a lot of people. And I, to this day, cannot, I have to watch these scenes with my eyes closed. They just get me. So, number one, and I will point to a place because I'll put some screenshots there, but number one is Minority Report. If I'm being honest, I think it's one of the best Stephen. I love Minority Report. Such a fucking good film. But the scene where Tom Cruise gets his eyes replaced to fool the retinal scanners. Something about that scene, and it does involve eyes, which are a weakness of mine. But it's not an explicit scene, but it's so well done, and it's so dingy and dirty and grimy that I genuinely struggled to watch it all the way through. I remember seeing it in the cinema when I was in my teens, when did it come out? It was probably 14, 15 when it came out, and I literally had to leave the screening. I felt sick watching it, and I think that's sort of persisted since. And even now, when he wakes up and he's eating the mouldy sandwich and all that stuff, fine, I can deal with that. But when he's actually having the procedure, even though it's not explicit, I struggle with it. So, number one, Minority Report. Number two, it is The Revenant. And to the surprise of potentially no one, it's the scene where Leonardo DiCaprio gets butt fucked by a bear. I'm not one for bestiality porn, obviously, but that bear does a real fucking number on Leo. And it's not so much the first part, although that's quite horrible. It's when the bear kind of goes away and Leo takes that shot and it comes back for the second part of the mauling. Something about that, yeah, I really struggled with that. I was in the cinema. I literally remember I was in the cinema like this, because the intensity of it was too much for me at the time, and because of that, I still struggled to watch it, at least the whole way through. So number two, The Revenant. Number three is Looper, and I think this is, how do I put this? Out of every film I've ever seen, legitimately ever seen, there is a bit in Looper that I had actual nightmares about and made me feel physically sick, to the point where even if I rewatch Looper, which I do because I love Looper, it's a great film, but if I rewatch this film, I get anxious knowing this scene is coming, and when this scene is on, I can't watch it. And it is the scene where some incidental character is running away, and then he starts to see scars and appearing on his arm, and sort of appendages starting to go missing. And the incredible thing about this scene is, within the logic and the lore of the film, because you know that it's happening to his younger self but manifesting onto his older self, but you don't see it, the idea that this younger self is having all of his appendages surgically removed and being, cut to get the address in scars on the older guy's arm, tongue taken out, nose taken off, being literally dissected, it's horrifying. It is horrifying. I hate it. I hate it so fucking much. And I credit the film for doing it that way around. I would have found it easier if the film was an 18 and you saw the stuff happen graphically to the younger person. But because it's left to your imagination, my imagination just goes fucking hog wild, and it freaks me the fuck out. And I feel sick every time I watch it, which makes it a pretty singularly unique thing in cinema for me. I can watch the Saw films. I've seen Hostels. I've seen Serbian films, I've seen human centipedes, I've seen just horrible stuff, but that one sticks in the craw in a way that the others don't. Um, so yeah, there we go. If you're watching those films and you know what I'm talking about, if you found them scary, if you can watch them, if you can't watch them, I'd love to know why, or your experiences the first time you watched them, or reactions from people that you watch these films with. Maybe you went on a date to see Looper back in the day. Maybe you're now happily married, but your wife hates you because you threw up in her lap at that scene or whatever it was. I'm dying to know your own experiences, because ultimately shared experiences are one of the few joys we have in life, and I can't wait to share my experiences with you lucky folk. As always, like, subscribe, bing, yay, nay. Tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I want to learn and grow. I want to develop this shit. I want to make this the best it can be. I want to entertain you all. So if I'm not doing that, don't leave me, please. If I'm not doing that, tell me why, and I will endeavour to do better. But for now, that's enough of your time wasted. Get outside, go for a walk, listen to something nice, relax, treat yourself because you deserve it, and have a good day.